not all leads are created equally. And what I mean by that is that not every company who reaches out to you or who you reach out to is actually going to be the best fit for your skills, your desires, your goals, and so on. So in today's episode, I want to talk about how to qualify your leads and how to make sure that they're going to be a good fit for you and you a good fit for them. Today's video is a part of my free freelance sales course brought to you by Pipedrive. Pipedrive is the first CRM designed by salespeople for salespeople. Anyone who's tried to sell a freelance service before is probably familiar with a prospecting spreadsheet, but Pipedrive is so much better. Pipedrive allows you to not only keep track of your prospects' contact info, but also move them through your sales funnel, keeping track of each touch point you make with them. Be sure to click the link down in the description box to give Pipedrive a try, and I'll show you a little bit more of what can be done with the tool throughout this video. So qualifying your leads really starts with you, actually. I think it starts with being honest and open and transparent about exactly what you have to offer. So first things first, you need a unique selling proposition, or USP, or UVP. Sometimes people call them unique value propositions, kind of interchangeable terms. You want to explain what makes you different. How do you help people? What do you do? We could easily all say we're social media managers, right? Like a lot of people who watch this channel are social media managers. But what do you do differently from me versus the next person versus the next person? And you can swap that out for any service that one could provide: copywriting, video production, podcast production, right? What is your unique recipe? What makes you special? Don't get me wrong, this might take some time, but once you figure that out, for me, for example, when I first started my agency, at the time, this is not the case so much anymore, but at the time I was one of the only people, definitely the only people in my area who really had a solid understanding of video for social media. A lot of people were still just posting quote graphics and, basic stuff, but I had a very deep understanding and training of video production, and I help my clients with that. So figure out what that special, kind of your secret sauce is for you and communicate that on your website. Make sure that people know why they should go with you over somebody else. So that's one step, because, if I am a social media manager for, let's say, tech companies, I don't really want a florist to reach out to me in the first place. They should know pretty clearly and pretty immediately whether or not they're in the right place. This all has to do with niching down as well, which I do think is a smart thing to do, making sure that you're, really specializing in a particular industry, particular segment of the market, as opposed to trying to talk to everybody and trying to do all the things for everybody. So figure out what that USP is, what your niche is going to be, and communicate that on your website. Now, the other piece of it is that's more about, ideal clients and making sure that they're in the right place. But I think the other big piece that a lot of freelancers run into, the issue that a lot of freelancers run into, is clients who are not aligned on budget. So this is a very hot topic. Do you put your pricing on your website? Do you not? Do you wait? Do you put your pricing on the website? That is what I've learned over the years, is that being transparent about what I am expecting out of this relationship helps everybody. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, my pricing varies, right? My price for a giant company who needs social posts every day versus a small mom and pop that needs one Instagram reel filmed a month is going to be different. And I hear you. Number one, those are two very different companies. So again, the niching thing, but even let's say that you want to help everybody, communicate ranges or starting points. You can do this in many different ways. You can have a services page that says, hey, social media management starts at $2,000 a month. Video production starts at $2,500 a month, and so on. That's one way that you can do it. Another thing that really seriously revolutionized my business was including a form on the discovery call link. So I use a tool to get people to automatically book a call with me, right? I think a lot of us are familiar with these tools, but instead of just letting just anybody book a call with me, I ask a few questions before we schedule that call. Now you want to be careful about this because you do not want to overload them and get people to just click out and be like, oh my gosh, I don't have time for this 20 question intake form. But ask the most critical information. For me, that's, I need a contact name, I need an email address, I need a website or a social profile, and I want to know your budget. I add a drop down onto my form. So the first button that they can click is what my services start at. And that is pretty much for like the bare bones option, right? You can leave it open-ended if you prefer, but I found when I did that, I got a lot of like, I don't know, or as little as possible, right? So getting them to select, okay, between 1,500 and 3,000 or 5,000 and 7,000 and so on, that's going to better prepare both parties for the next step, which is the discovery call. But actually, we're jumping ahead here again because once that form comes in, you still need to do a little bit of qualifying of the client. I take that time to Google, to search, to investigate their website. I try to go through their website that they send through with my customer hat on, right? I try to pretend that I am one of their ideal customers and I'm trying to get a solution to my problem. And that's going to give you a good indication of whether or not they're in a place to hire a freelancer. Because if their website is not navigatable, you cannot get what you need from the website, unless you're a website designer and they're reaching out to you for website design help, in which case I'll zip my lips. It doesn't automatically mean this, but it could be an indicator that they might not have a really good lead gen system of their own, that they might not be getting clients of their own if you are unable to navigate it and get what you need. Not always, because sometimes I've been surprised. I've worked with clients that have like the most terrible websites in the world and are making, tens and hundreds of millions of dollars, and I have no idea how that works. But I digress. That's one indicator, right? You can do the same thing on their social profiles and just kind of dig around a little bit and see if it looks like they are having conversations, if people are reaching out to them, if people are tagging them, if people are leaving them reviews. These are all good signs. Now, again, I know a lot of us are social media professionals, so sometimes that's why people are coming to us, is that they just have a very offline business and they need to step into the social world, and that's well and fair. These are just indicators, these are not guarantees. And with that said, if somebody's website is terrible and they don't have a social profile, that doesn't mean I'm not going to take the discovery call with them. Because again, I've been surprised. So you don't want to be a snob here unless you are super booked and busy, in which case you might want to follow back up with them. But I just know I'm just prepared before going into the conversation of, is this going to be a really 101 level conversation? And am I going to be kind of helping them figure out whether or not they should start a Facebook account? Or is this going to be more high level and I'm going to be able to ask them about, hey, how are you tracking your leads? Have you updated your Google Analytics yet? Like higher level questions like that. And that's going to help me in the back of my mind know what proposal I'm going to be providing them as well, and kind of what level of service or what tier of service rather that I'm going to provide them. That said, you're going to get on the discovery call. A discovery call is for you and it's for them. Of course, this is a great opportunity for them to ask you questions about your service and, why you're qualified to do it. Those are all fair questions, absolutely. But you should really be driving the conversation as the service provider. So I like to start out by just kind of saying, hey, tell me a little bit about why you reached out. Tell me about the problem that I can help you solve. And you'll do a little bit of probing. I have a whole discovery call video that I will link for you if you want sort of a script and, a demo of how it would actually go. But one of the questions that I definitely recommend asking is about budget again, or at least reaffirming the budget in this call. If they've marked down, hey, we've got a budget of 5 to 10K a month, then just, verbalize that on the call. If it sounds like it's going well and you're getting ready in your brain to send through a proposal, say, hey, I'm going to take some time to put together this proposal for you. It looks like you indicated that your budget's between about 5 and 10K. That's actually a pretty wide range. 5 and 7K, let's say, per month. Is that still correct? And just affirm that with them so that there are no surprises. If they have questions, if they've changed their mind, if they're like, actually, you know what, we could bump that up to 10, cool. Now you can provide them a proposal that matches their needs and their budget. Once you have leads identified, you want to add them into pipedrive. Adding your contacts into a CRM allows you to track progress towards your goal at a quick glance and also communicate with your team about where you're at in the sales process. So once you have a lead you'd like to pursue, head to the Deals section of pipedrive. You can customize this view to match your specific sales process, but I really like the default. So I'll click the plus sign under the Qualified column. There, you'll add as much information about your lead as you have. Think of this as your virtual Rolodex. Then you can begin scheduling activities like calls, meeting, lunches, or emails, and we'll talk more about that in the next episode. And thank you again to pipedrive for sponsoring this series. Be sure to check them out in the description. I will leave you a link there. I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.